Do. Hello everybody, welcome back to Ruling the Cloud. So I'm just here in the Enderman farm, just doing a bit of enchanting for some gear. This is for my mining that I'm going to be doing in a bit, just continuing from last episode. Also, I've started kind of using leather boots and enchanting them up like crazy, just because it's a lot easier to repair them. Plus, while I'm mining, I'm probably going to be dying a lot in lava, so I figured I'll go a little crazy with the enchanting on the leather boots, and if I lose it, it's not much of a loss. I haven't really used it too much, but I think it's a silly idea, but, you know, why not? It's even purple! Anyway, so I'm going to get to continuing my mining down in that little strip mine that I showed you off at the end of the last episode, and when I'm done, I should have a lot more resources. Anyway, I'm going to keep doing some enchanting to make some work picks as well, and it shouldn't be too long. Okay. I am done. All of the strip mining has been complete. These are all my picks and stuff, just everything, all of the stuff that I've used, and all of it needs to be repaired, and has been repaired many times. Anyway, so I've finished strip mining in all the directions up here now. 100 blocks, roughly 106 blocks, I think, in every direction. One giant cube, I should say, or square, of just straight strip mining. And it took a long time. These are the results of my labor. A stack and roughly a half of lapis, lots of redstone, actually a couple emeralds, a good amount of diamond, which I'll be using, and gold. The diamonds, obviously, I'm going to fortune, and like I said, a lot of iron and a lot of coal, which is what I'd aimed for at this level. And what I'm going to be doing next, or rather what I'll be showing you next, is down below where I did a lot more mining. Hidden away just below the strip mining level, the big reveal, here it is. This is the entire strip mine, one level down, using speed mining, completely cleared out. And a lot of slapping noise. Let me just turn my sound down a bit to get rid of that. So yeah, I did a lot of mining, and I mean a lot of mining. I basically did speed mining, clear out this entire area, which doesn't actually look as big as I thought it would. I don't know. It seemed bigger when I was doing the strip mine. And I've lit it all up, as you can see here, so there'll be no mobs besides slimes, which means I'm going to have to probably slab the place up if I ever want to do any kind of mob farms around here, just because it's going to... I don't know if slimes... I assume slimes are on the same grid as... or same list as the other ones. So I'm going to have to slab this place up, but that's a later project. So, as you can see here, these are the chests with the fruits of my labor. And I got a lot of resources. I mean, a lot of resources. So here we go. Wow, that's a lot, I know. Almost 5 whole stacks of diamonds. And almost 5 whole stacks of lapis. As well as a couple ores here and there, just because I might have mined a couple without a silk touch pick. And I did actually get a lot of other resources too. The gold, oh, so many stacks. Lots of slime, which is essentially, this is actually like a slime farm. It's better than the slime farm we have on the server. Coal, iron, lots of stuff. And now the real prize, what I was looking for. Lots and lots of redstone. And I mean, look at this. I have more redstone than I could ever imagine. I'm gonna be building redstone contraptions in my base like crazy. I have so much redstone to work with now. It's insane. Oh man, I am glad that I did this huge mining excursion. I've been planning this for a while. Rather, I started this when the server restarted, and I never really put much time into it, but I knew I would get a lot from it, and I just look at everything I got. It's insane. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, well, if I knew how to ender pearl right, I'm going to be heading up to the surface and heading over to where my base is, and we'll be continuing doing a bit of work there. And I'll be kind of yeah, I do want to do some work on the potion lab floor. I kind of have an idea of how I want to design it. Obviously all the redstone is done for the most part. I think I'm short just a couple of chests, but I should be able to finish it today, or at least just like designing the look of it. So I'm gonna head on up over there and we'll continue. Alright, here we go. And we're here, back at the potion lab. So I did continue a little bit from last episode before I started mining. I kind of put in a bit more quartz here, as you can see, figuring out the kind of style that I want to go with. And I have these little glass, stained glass in the corners here to indicate what potion I'm going to be brewing in each location. And I really like the way it turned out, actually. I think it's a good visual indicator. I want to hold off from using signs as much as possible in this place. So we got the water breathing, speed, poison. The corner ones will be the negative potions like invisibility, weakness, and stuff like that. And I've gotten a whole bunch of white stained clay. We have an iron farm on the server, so I'll be using iron like crazy in this place. And I'm thinking for the floor, we're kind of going to do a thing where it's going to be a glass on the upper layer, and it'll be iron underneath it. So it'll kind of look like this. The iron kind of gives it a nice a reflecting effect, which I kind of like. And it's something we did in the Nether Hub of the previous world, where I did my Conquering the Cloud series. And that's kind of, I'm going to be doing kind of an homage to the Nether Hub, using the same kind of style with the buildings. And I think it's going to suit the potion lab really well. And just looking at this floor here, it gives it a nice effect, which I'm really happy with. And we're doing this kind of all around, and I gotta be careful with these chests, because I do still have stuff in it that I'm gonna be using to actually build. Oops, I'm gonna get rid of that. I do still have to go and repair my tools, as you can tell. The mining, it took a lot out of my resources or not resources, it took a lot out of my gear. But in terms of resources, it was well worth it, as you saw, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm gonna continue this. Just kind of glassing up the floor here, and I'll show you guys the end result. It shouldn't take me too long. Okay, so I finished putting out glass in one of these corners here, and I'm kind of having a bit of mixed feelings about it. It's a lot, like it's a big empty floor, and I might decide to change it up. Actually, this part here is off because I do have to put a case on the corner one. I should go pick that up. I'll get it after. But in any case, yeah, and like these corner parts, the pathway is fine, because it's roughly about a 4-block wide pathway. And to me, that looks okay, but when you start going into the actual room itself, there's like this huge just chunk in the middle. I might decide to put something underneath the glass just to kind of break it up a little bit, but I haven't really decided on what I'm going to do yet. Yeah, see, it's like a huge chunk of just glass there. It might look better once the casing and everything else is done, but we'll have to see. Alright, so on to the next step. We're going to be encasing the wiring here with my own little design. So, as I said, this is Ethos Potion Lab design. So I'm going to be doing my own kind of casing here, and following the stained glass that I had in the front, we're going to be using these items here. Now I made a stack, but obviously that's a little more than I need. But what we'll be doing is basically, we're going to be putting, just underneath where the brewing stand is, we're going to be putting a block that corresponds to the stained glass color. So in this case, it's dark blue, which I'll be using for probably water breathing potions. So we're going to be putting in, night vision potions. So we'll be putting in lapis, which essentially is the same kind of tint as the stained glass, and each one will be kind of different colors, different blocks, mostly clay, just to kind of correspond with it. This will be light blue stained clay, and stuff like that. So as you can see here, it's a close correlation. It's not exactly the same. So for the night vision potion, the lapis will be going here, and it'll be going over here as well, under the, just like I said, under the brewing stand. And that also gives like a nice change in color for the room. It's a good visual look, in my opinion. I do have diamond blocks because one of them is going to be using diamond blocks. There's actually a lot of blue potions. So the one I'll be using diamond for is over here. This is where my speed potions are going to be going, and it's probably the one I'm going to be using the most, just traveling and getting around. And I'll probably set up a bunch of dispenser systems to kind of just shoot me when I walk by or something like that. So I kind of want to give it something special, a nice flair, and I'm deciding to use diamond blocks. And hopefully no one comes to my base and raids me. and steals my diamond that is very much in the open. But the guys on the server won't do that. They're nice guys. And over here we'll be doing dark purple stained glass, or stained clay, I should say. And then over here, obviously, we'll be doing orange. And other than the blues, the solid stained clay colors actually fit the glass really well. It's almost an exact color scheme, I should say. And these ones here are going to be kind of where the awkward potions are going to go. This is going to be where the items that change it to the potion that'll be going here, and so on and so forth. I'll be using kind of cart systems to get to these corner ones to change it to negative potion. And basically all the stuff I went over in the previous episode, you kind of get the idea of how this place is going to run. It's a little different from Etho's design because he set it up so that each potion was its own single line. He didn't really connect them for the negative potions. I've decided to use a cart system to take basically what would be a positive potion and then adding the negative effect to it to make it into its corresponding negative potion. And over here, obviously, we got to put some green for the poison. Poison's really the only one in the actual main center that is still technically a negative potion. But yeah. And I'm going to finish this off. I think it's going to look really nice when all of the clay and everything is in. Now, the regen potion, this one's special. In that I'm probably not going to make too many. I don't really have all that many gas tiers right now. I don't spend all that much time in the nether of this server. Besides that one clip in the previous episode. Actually, I don't think I talked about that. Bam was kind of working on the nether hub map, so and where the shops and stuff are going to be, so I kind of helped him out with clearing that out with beds and stuff. Now, for the casing, I'm thinking what we're going to do, if I can get some staircase blocks ready for us here. Going to be using kind of like my favorite tricks with staircase blocks being turned to kind of give you a view to the chest below and here. And basically what's going to happen is kind of continuing this pattern. I'm thinking... Now it is kind of tricky, but over here it'll be like that. And then above it, we're going to put the same block that we have below it, the lapis block. And I'm going to work on having a piston set up where if you power it, it retracts upward. Or sorry, if you unpower it, it retracts upwards and it'll pull the block back, allowing me to gain access to the chests above. But for the most part, I'll probably won't access those chests unless it gets low. That'll be where the modifiers are in, so adding like the redstone, the glowstone, and stuff like that. I am so indecisive, I cannot settle on a design that I like. Yeah, that doesn't really look too good though. It looks kind of funny. I'm being troublesome. So this is where that block's gonna go, and it's gonna mirror upwards. I've already settled on that, and I think it gives it a nice effect. Now for the ceiling, it makes it hard to see if I use a solid block, so I might make the ceiling go up one more. I don't know. I haven't really decided. The tricky part is these middle parts in between the brewing stands, just trying to figure out how a design to make that look good. Okay, I give up on that for now. We're going to take a break from that and kind of do the middle section here. I've already decided on how that's going to look, so building that is going to be a lot easier. Now I have these windows here just because I kind of like having access to seeing the redstone. A lot of the old worlds that we visited in my World Wednesday series, a lot of my redstone I just made visible for some odd reason. So I'm going to do that here. Now this is what it's going to look like. Like I said, this is mirroring or kind of inspired by the previous world's nether hub. And I'm going to be doing, in the nether hub, the middle section kind of had this design. And they had this thing where it would show wool in the four corners. Just kind of to give it a little bit more flair. So I'm going to be doing something similar to that with wool here, but instead of designating what's in that corner, I'm just going to be using my colors, two sets of purple and 2 sets of black. And I think it'll look really nice once it's finished. It shouldn't be too hard to work with. Now getting up here is the tricky part. I'm thinking, there we go. Let's take a look at that. See, that looks really nice, and I'm going to be doing that in the 4 corners here. And in the middle part, I'm going to kind of have them intersect to make kind of a domed roof. Now, this is making the floor a lot taller, so the outer rim is going to look a little weird because this level is going to be really big. But for what I have planned on the outside, I think it won't be too bad. I think it'll turn out pretty good. Now, we're going to take the glowstone and the redstone, and we're going to make some lanterns here. And these lanterns are going to be used kind of as a way for me to make the roof. It's going to be something just in the middle, just to kind of help give a little bit of lighting. It's not going to reach the floor, I don't think, because of the distance, but I like the way it looks. And it's actually something I did in the Control Alt Elite server a long time ago for the entranceway. So, something similar to it anyway. And so if we head back up over here, get some blocks to use as scaffolding. Unfortunately, I don't have any slime blocks on me. I need to get some more. I love using slime blocks for scaffolding. It just makes things so much easier. So I'm just pulling up a picture here. And I actually need a couple more blocks. I need some half slabs, and I need some of those fancy swirly blocks, which I don't think I have any on me. Let me go quickly make some of those. And over here, there's my crafting table. I am eventually going to have to move those chests because the floor is incomplete, but it should be okay. Alright, so there we got those swirly blocks. Let's head back on up. So this is going to continue inward, and in basically the four corners, I'm going to have this swirly block, and then I'm going to use the stone staircase here to encase a lantern in the middle. But before that, we have to work on this level, and this is going to kind of be where the dome starts to come into play. So I'm going to be using kind of stone, or not stone, using staircases to give it a nice effect of partial circle, which we'll be continuing. If I can get the placement of this right. Yeah, that should be right. And it's going to wrap around and continue like a circle. And that should be right, I think. Yeah. So next we start doing the middle part, like I said. I'm just continuing the stairs like so, all the way around. And I really like how the quartz mixes with the staircase blocks. I find the staircase, or not staircase, the smooth stone, no, not smooth stone, the smooth stone brick blocks, I find that having them in every so often in a build that uses a lot of quartz gives it a nice effect. Since it's gray, it's not such a big change in color from white. It still blends really well, and what'll be drawing your eyes in this room will obviously be the colors that were used for the different indicators for the potions we'll be brewing. That should be what grabs you when you see this room, besides obviously the middle area. There we go. So let's head back on down and take a kind of bit of a look, and I'm going to do some, like I said, in the four sides like that, and the pattern is just going to continue all the way around using the staircase blocks. And actually, you know, let me set this up a little bit just to kind of give myself an idea of how it's going to look, and then when we actually see it, it'll be a much grander reveal. And it's going to kind of connect to the corners. It's going to continue downward essentially, because I'm going to have, this is the main room, but the hallways for the potion labs aren't going to be this tall. Just this one area is going to be this tall. Okay, just got to make sure I grab all the blocks that were falling while I was building this thing, and I think I got most of it. Alright, so basically these torches here are just placeholders, but if we look up, look at that. It's so nice. So this is the centerpiece of the room. It's going to continue in these corners here, as I said. The roof is going to kind of start going downward. It's going to be like a dome in the middle, and then it'll be kind of like straight pathways over these areas here. And I think it's going to turn out really well. Time for a progress report. I've finished the main room, and it turned out great. Look at this place. It's a nice blend of quartz. It looks amazing. Also, it's raining. I think, yeah, I have my weather off. Just making sure. And so, as you can see here, it kind of starts going downward, and we'll be continuing the roof from this level here, just above. And I'm gonna have to start figuring out how to do the casing for the potion line here. And I'm thinking, just like that, the main hub, I'm gonna blend it with stone bricks here, and I'm gonna change it up a bit by putting in different ones to kind of just change the way it looks. Have some mossy, maybe some broken ones. I think it looks good. It's a nice blend. This one's actually really tricky, trying to figure out how this is gonna look really good. But I think that's not too bad, right? That looks pretty good. I don't think I like it. The staircase is in the right place. It gives us access to each of the different chests and all, but yeah, maybe, does that make it look any better? Maybe taking away a bit of the quartz to make it look like it's more of a stone wall. But it kind of looks like... Oop, didn't mean to do that. I gotta go grab that before I lose it. Let's clear up my hotbar. Alright, and that goes there. So yeah, it kind of looks like a big mural of sorts. It's like the quartz is encasing. I put the wrong one there. It's kind of like it's encasing the stone wall, and I thought I would like it more like that, but I think I actually prefer it the other way. So this is how I do building. I start building lots of things, trying to see if I like the way it looks, and I usually, for the most part, wind up changing my mind time and time again. Yeah, I'm not all too happy with that. And the corner ones are going to be just as tricky. This one's going to be invisibility, by the way, so I went with a clear glass, and then I used snow, because I don't want to have clear glass on the bottom due to the way the floor is. But I think I'm going to have to play around with this a little bit more. I'm not quite sure how it's going to turn out. Alright, I need some more resources. Finally, I've decided on a look, and I love it! Look at it. It's amazing, isn't it? So I decided to stick with the quartz staircase blocks, having them kind of mix and mash and look really messy, but it actually gives it a nice effect. I put the blocks above here to kind of indicate what will be in these chests, and I have a lever on this side, where if you switch it, it controls the pistons. The blocks will be normally in this state here. I'll only unpower it if I have to access the modifiers, but for the most part, I'm very happy with how this turned out. So I'm going to be doing this for each of the corners, the casing and all that, and I'll probably have it done for next episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of I almost said Redstone Fun, of Ruling the Cloud. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!